Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. So with the success in our last episode of building our coal power plant, we now have a massive sustainable amount of electricity. Obviously we haven't got a nice straight line like we want to because we need the Mark III belts and the Mark II miners so we can increase our input to 270 like we built it to withstand. But to achieve that we've got some milestones to complete. So if we have a look here at these milestones, we need the steel production just here, and into 4 we need the advanced steel production for Mark II miners, and we need logistics Mark III, but we do need steel to be able to accomplish these milestones. So that's going to be the plan for this episode. So as you can see on the right hand side, we've got our list together, we've got our steel factory. We want to complete tier 3, tier 4 in this episode, and also the Mark III belts, and then increase our power stability, and then maybe we'll delve into the reins of transport. But first of all, what we want to do is get this basic steel production milestone complete. So let's have a look and see what we need. So we need some more rotors, we need some of the modular frames, and we also need some steel wire. We've got enough concrete, so we're going to go ahead and grab some of that. Not steel wire, it was copper wire is what I was meant to say, but we'll grab some of that. We'll grab 2 stacks of that because we'll need that for power lines anyway. And then what we're going to do is going to head and we're going to grab some rotors. We'll just grab another stack of rotors from here, and then we just need our modular frames as well. So let's go ahead and we'll get this all done and dusted. So we'll chuck all that lot in and we'll get that lawn. So that's perfect, that's all lawn. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that, let's go through what we're actually going to need for our factory. My sort of testing and investigation in creative mode, I found a nice area up here. Now what we're also going to be doing here at the steel factory is the encased beams. Now there isn't much information on the encased beams when you search for it, so what you have to do is kind of go to the Satisfactory calculator. All the information is there, but for the encased beams we just need limestone, and we also need steel beams. So what we're looking for over here is coal and iron for our steel production, and also limestone. And we search for iron ore, and search for limestone over here, and coal as well. We'll open up our map, and as you can see we've got plenty of coal over here, we've got our steel over here, and there is also some limestone over here as well. Doesn't seem to have wanted to pop up, but if we scan it again, hopefully it will. Yeah, so there we go, we have our limestone as well. So that's kind of why we want to head over in that direction. So now we've confirmed where we want to build our location, let's run through what we actually need. So we will need the foundry, which will unlock when we get the basic steel production milestone done. Just to run through what we will need 6 constructors for the encased beams. So we'll go ahead and put 6 in here. We will then need 12 foundries altogether. So we need 6, which are going to be making the steel ingots and then going into steel beams. And then we're also going to need another 6 foundries for the steel pipes as well. Now the reason being is because we're basically making this to cope with 270, so we're kind of forward planning quite a lot. But I'll explain a little bit more when we've got the foundations down. We'll go through the numbers and everything like that. So far we've got 6 constructors for encased beams. We're going to need 5 constructors for the steel beams. So we'll put another 5 onto here, which will be 11. And then we're going to need 8 constructors in total for the steel pipes. So overall we're going to need 19 constructors. Now we're also going to need 3 assemblers for the encased beams, because they take the concrete and the steel beams, so we're going to need 3 of those as well. So we'll put them in our list to make sure we've got enough resources, which for all of them we have. We just need to wait for the modular frame so we can get this basic steel production milestone done, so we can work out what we need for the foundries. We're also going to need a lot of concrete and a lot of steel plates for the foundations. So let's go ahead and see how modular frames are doing. We've got 12, we might be here for a little bit longer. So now we have access to the foundries. So let's go ahead, we'll head over here and we've got our foundries. So we needed 12 of these altogether. So we'll put up 12, and now we know exactly what resources we need. So we need quite a few more modular frames, so I'll probably do a little bit more crafting and probably get them done by hand, and we'll wait for those as well. Okay, so here we are at our prime location. So as you can see over here, we have our 2 iron nodes over there and our limestone just there, and just over here we have got 3 coal ore nodes. but that one just over there in the distance is an impure one, so we're going to forget about that. We're just going to use this one here and that one here. So now we need to work out how we're building our foundations. Now I haven't really got a plan for this. What I'm probably going to do is build quite high, sort of where I am stood now, to cover all of these mounds, and then we'll probably use this area over here, this nice open area just there. We'll probably build our big factory there. The factory is probably going to be bigger and more spacious than it needs to be, but I think it will look pretty cool. We'll probably focus our encased beams over this side, our limestone node is, and then what we might do is build a nice conveyor belt bridge going right over this sort of crater just here over to this side, so we can kind of utilize the nodes as well. Might even build slightly over this, but we'll see how it all goes. Okay, so that's all the foundations laid out. You don't have to copy this exact design. This is kind of just the design I've gone for. So I've got a bridge over here for our iron nodes. Our limestone node is just down here. Our coal nodes are just here. Kind of got a little drop here, which is where my conveyor belts are going to go. I am just going to spend a little bit of time. I'm just going to paint out where I'm going to have my conveyor belts and where I'm going to have everything set up, just so you've got kind of a better idea of where everything is going. The main thing to note is you kind of want your foundations at least, I would say, 10 foundations wide. Now, the reason being is purely and simply because the foundries, if we look at these as a grid here, if we put it on the edge of our foundation, you can just see the boundary. It does overlap. It's not exactly one foundation wide. So I'm going to hazard a guess at, based on the fact that the foundations are 8 meters wide, this is probably about 12 meters wide. So we're going to want 6 of these. So if we do 12 and we times that by 6, that gives us 72 meters. So if we do 72 and we divide that by 8, because we know the foundations are 8 meters wide, that gives us 9. So you want at least 10 to give you a little bit of space. I've gone for 12 just to give me a little bit more room. Now the constructors, on the other hand, they do kind of fit in a foundation wide square. So obviously having an even number just makes it a little bit easier to space these out. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time. I'm going to kind of paint my layout so I know where everything's going to go. And I will see you very shortly and we can see how it all looks. Okay, so here we are. We've got everything laid out. So everything in green is going to be the conveyor belts. So my coal is going to kind of come around the back here on this lower level, and it's going to kind of pop up back here as well. So this node over here will probably feed this front bank, and this rear node will probably end up feeding this bank here. And then our iron's going to come along here. I'm going to do a similar thing. I'm going to have one veer off this way, and we're going to have one veer off down here and feed this one as well. So here in the red is going to be our foundries. So we're going to have 6 of each. So I've just laid out a grid here. Now, as I said before, we needed a space of 9 foundations wide to fit all the foundries in place. So that's why they're kind of like that. And then next, we're going to have the steel pipes over here. This bank of 8 here. Our steel beams are going to be these constructors here. And then this over here is going to be for our limestone into concrete. And then this is going to be the assemblers, which are going to take some from these steel beams here and then this concrete here. And then this yellow area over here is probably going to be like a little transport truck park to distribute our goods back to base. So now that's all laid out, let's talk about the numbers and how I figured out how many of each I needed. So for our steel ingots and how I got my number for 6 foundries and why I've decided to have 2 banks is because we're going to have 270 iron per bank. So we're going to have 270 iron, not at the moment, but once we've got the miners and the belts at full capacity, we'll be able to do 270. So that's with this bearing in mind. So we're going to have 270 iron coming in, 270 coal coming in, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if we go ahead and look at our steel ingots, you can see that it takes 45 iron, 45 coal per minute. So what we're going to do is, because we've got 270 coming in, we're going to do 270. We're going to divide that by 45 per minute, and that gives us 6. So we need 6 foundries. So that's how we come up with that number. Now we need 1 to feed the steel pipes, and we need another bank of 6 to fill the steel beams. Now let's go on to the steel beams. So if we have a look at the steel beams and we just expand this, we can see that we need 60 per minute of the steel ingots. So we can go ahead and do 270 again divided by 60, and that will give us an answer of 4.5. Now you're probably wondering how I got 270. That's because the foundry is a 1-to-1 ratio as input and output. So we know we've got 270 going in, so we're getting 270 going out. Now as you can see here, 4.5, we can't do 4.5 constructors, so we're going to round that up to 5, which means that we need to find another half. So from that 60 we need to find another 30 ingots from somewhere to make sure this is at full capacity, which leads us onto the steel pipes. So if we look at the steel pipes and we expand this, we've got 30 per minute of the steel ingots for the pipes. So because we know we've got a 1-to-1 ratio, we can do 270 and divide that by 30. That gives us 9. So we need 9 constructors to make the steel pipes, but we needed an extra 30. So what we can do is take 9 constructors. We can use that extra 30 to loop back round from here to our steel beams and make our 5 constructors. Now let's go on to the numbers for the encased beams. So if we search for concrete and we see what we need for that, we need 45 per minute. We're going to have 270 of the limestone coming in, so we can do 270 divided by 45, and that gives us 6 constructors. So that's how we know how many constructors we have. Now for the encased beams, the information for them you can find on the Satisfactory calculator website. But basically we need 90 concrete going in and we need 45 steel beams going out. So doing a little bit of calculation from the Satisfactory calculator website of how many of the assemblers we need. We need 3 of the assemblers, but we're going to underclock them to 83.33% or 83.33 recurring percent, and that will evenly take out our concrete from these constructors and then our 45 steel beams coming from here. Now the excess steel beams we will just put into storage, and then our pipes will put into storage as well. So I'll have all the diagrams and everything that I've shown on screen. I'll be leaving them in the Satisfactory section of my Discord. I'll leave the link down below for that. I'm in the process of creating a website to leave all this information for you to completely free, so stay tuned for more info about that. So I took the liberty of heading back to base and grabbing everything we needed. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just move our lookout tower, and we'll probably put that over here for now, so we can kind of do everything from above, just make things a little bit easier. So we're going to go ahead and get all our buildings laid out. We'll do that all first, and then we can go ahead and sort out all the logistics. So first of all, we're going to do our boundaries. So we're going to kind of put these in the middle. They're quite an even distribution, kind of front to back. So we're going to try and put these in the middle. I think around about there should be fine. I think that should give us enough room. Okay, so now we've kind of hopped down. What we're going to do is we're just going to place our foundation down, and we're going to do a 2-meter gap. So we'll put one there. This one's linked in. We'll just move this 2 along. Same with this one. Just leave a nice 2-meter gap. How many was that? 4. And we're going to do another 2-meter gap, 5, and we'll do another 2 meter. That is 6. That's nice and laid out. So if you start on the edge of one, you'll have plenty of room for all the rest of them to fit in. So there we go. We have all of our boundaries in place, looking nice like that. Now we need a whole load of constructors, so we're going to get all of these done. So constructors will fit in a foundation, so we're going to try and make sure the corners are kind of lined up pretty much like this. Not sure if we'll be able to nudge these in a way that will make it nice. Now I think we're going to have to kind of leave it pretty much like that, and then we're just going to these place. Go. Okay, so it does overlap a little bit. Okay, so with the constructors, if you do a 2 nudge gap just so they look kind of evenly distributed, it does overhang a little bit from where I painted. So instead of 8, you kind of probably need 9 foundations wide, but I think it looks a lot better, a little bit spaced out like that. So we're going to do the same for this one, but we're going to start kind of over this end. I think probably going to be the best thing to do. So we'll copy that one there. We'll line this one up. So we want to kind of nudge it just so it's like that. We'll do the same on these. We will kind of just nudge it 2 across. Space them out to look quite nice. So for the pipes we needed 8, and now for these ones we only need 5. So that's 3 there, 4, and we've got another 5. So there we go, we've got 5 there. Now for our limestone, we are going to need 6 constructors over here, so we'll just do exactly the same again. Kind of trying to figure out where I painted, so I'm going to go for do the same again. We're just going to leave a 2 wide gap, nice and evenly spaced. Perfect. Okay, yeah, that leaves a nice little gap there. And now we're going to do our assemblers. So we're going to be taking some of these steel beams here, and we're going to be taking some of this limestone, or this concrete rather, from over here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to grab our assemblers. As you can see, they are quite long. So we're going to leave ourselves plenty of room. We're going to go right to the very edge over here, and we're going to go, yeah, perfect. Pretty much like that, right onto the edge. And we're going to do exactly the same with this one. We're going to leave a 2 wide gap, and we probably could space it out a little bit more. Actually, I might do. I'm going to space these out a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock it into place. I think what I'll do is I'll do 6. Yeah, I'm deciding to do 6. Completely up to you how you want to kind of do it. There we go. That leaves it nice and spaced out. I think that looks pretty good like that. So now all of that is in place, we've just got to do all of the logistics side of things now. So what I'm probably going to do first, as well over here, we'll start with this. So let's go ahead and get our marker miner. In fact, what we could do is we could face it round this direction, and we could bring it up to that bridge just there, and then kind of loop it round on itself. It's probably not the most efficient way to lay the conveyor belts, but I think it will look pretty cool. So we could extend this bridge all the way out to there, which, yeah, I think I might do that actually. We'll just go like this. We'll extend the bridge all the way out to there just so it looks a bit more uniform. And then what we can do is, now it's probably going to glitch through here a little bit as well. No, actually it's perfect. That will do. Okay, so we can go ahead and do that. So we can bring that out from here, and we can go ahead and come up that way. Yeah, I think that will look pretty good. So what we're going to do is put this to straight, and we're going to bring this round to here, and we're going to bring it across round this way, and we'll try and get it down the center. I think it will look pretty cool. I'll go ahead and get our Mark II lift. I will bring this up so it's nice and level. Think about that. Maybe, no, not quite. Okay, so we need to come up a little bit more, up to the next level, I believe. So not that one, that one. And then what we can do is we can go ahead, we'll bring this back to, I believe, and then we should be able to swing this round, and we can sort all this out. So we'll go ahead, pop that there for now. So now we can go ahead and we can do our manifold system for all of this lot. So we're going to go ahead and get our splitters. We're going to try and get them as close as possible, but I think here is probably going to be the best bet. So we'll go that one, and we will select that one. Go. Okay. So all of this lot, actually what we're going to do, you've kind of seen all of this bit before. What I'll do is I'll get all of the logistics sorted out, and then I will kind of explain the bits that are kind of new. It saves you watching me lay all the conveyor belts out, which you've probably seen 1,000 times before. So here we are, we've got all of the belts and all of the logistics all laid out. I've also taken the liberty to get all the power lines ready as well, so we're all ready to hook up to power. But first of all, as I said, let's run through how this is all actually working. So we've got our 2 iron coming out of here. At the moment we've only got 60, but I have bought some power shards, so we're going to use them just to increase the percentage and the output rate until we've unlocked the Mark II miners and the Mark III belts. So as you can see down here, we've got our 2 iron inputs into our foundries. So we'll see this one because we can see this one a little bit easier. So we've got it going up like this, and then just into splitters, just going into our foundries like this. From the coal, we'll head up over there, but you can see the inputs for the coal there. They just kind of travel along the edge and back into here. And as you can see over there, it kind of just conveys itself back in that way. Now let's head over to constructors where things are a little bit more complicated. Okay, so you're probably wondering what this merger here that I am stood on is for. So basically at this front row here, we've got our 8 constructors doing our steel pipes. So we've got 30 ingots per minute coming into these from over this side, coming from this bank of foundries here. So the output's all going along there. And we should have 270 coming out of here once we've got the required belts. And then they'll be split all the way down here in a manifold system. And then we've got the excess, because as our calculations earlier said, we needed 9, but we've only got 8. So we've got a spare 30. So 30 will come into here to match with this 270 coming from our first bank, which makes our 300, and our 300 will evenly distribute from these steel beams at 60 per minute coming in. So 60 and 5 there, that will equal 300. So that's going to utilize all of these steel beams from these constructors. So over here, we have just a storage container for now for our steel pipes. We will be utilizing this transport system. So these ones here are your steel beams. So they're going to be coming out of here, and they're going to be making their way to their assemblers for the encased beams. So just quickly, before we go any further with that, we have our limestone just here coming out into our constructors, making concrete. Nice and simple, nothing too difficult to explain there. Goes up into our conveyor belt lift, into our splitter system here. And then we've got our steel beams coming over to here. And then any excess will just be going into storage. Now what I'm going to be doing as well is going to go ahead and research in the MAM the smart splitters, which I'll showcase once we get back to our hub, and we'll be utilizing those smart splitters to kind of distribute things into storage once our vehicle transport is actually full. So this is going to be excess for those, and then for our encased beams, which we are yet to research as part of our milestone. So for now, they are just kind of empty. So we'll just let those stock up. Obviously, we can't select them for the assemblers yet because we haven't unlocked them. So let's go ahead and we're going to hook all this up to power. We're going to run after we've hooked up with power. We're going to go around all of our miners and we're going to distribute them with power shards to fully utilize what we can get out of them for now. So we're going to hook up to power, and that should basically operate all of these. So they're all green, and we should have pretty much all of those hooked up as well. So for now, what we're going to do is we're going to fully stock up for these. We're going to need 15 of these power shards altogether. So we're going to ramp these up to 150 per minute. We're just going to leave it like that for now, just until we obviously get the Mark II miners, and then we can ramp them up to 270. So we'll ramp these all the way up to 150 per minute on that one as well. And we're going to go ahead and jump up here, do our limestone miner as well. So we'll just configure this one quickly. We'll that up as well to 150, and then we just need to do our coal. Now I am going to make another coal miner, and we're going to utilize this impure one over here. That one's just going to be feeding our coal probably about 30 per minute because it's impure. That'll basically be filling our loading bays and obviously fill up our trucks as well with some coal. So we'll probably do that when we get the vehicle transport unlocked. For now, we'll just ramp these up as well. Okay, so that's all of those done. A few gaps to fill out down the bottom there, but that's not to worry. Okay, so let's go ahead and have a look and see how things are doing. So we've got our coal in production, so that's good. Our iron might take a little bit longer to kind of reach where we need it to. Nope, the iron's reaching here already. Bearing in mind that we have only got a Mark II belt, so it's only going 120. So at the moment they are well overproducing, and they'll probably be backing up. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. So let's see what the issue is here. We didn't actually select these, which isn't good. I thought we had. So we'll copy those and make sure we paste these along. I'm pretty sure I already done these, but I must have forgot about these. So we'll paste those. We'll just double check our other row as well, because I might have completely forgot those. Okay, so they all should be green. Yeah, looks like I've forgotten to do these ones as well, which is not very clever. Okay, they all should be producing steel ingots now, so that's good. At least they've kind of backed up a little bit, so that's pretty good. We've got these ones over here all doing what they're supposed to be doing. Probably going to be a little bit slow to get kind of down here because of the manifold system, but we should be there in no time at all really. That first one's filling up quite nicely. So yeah, I think it'll be making it all the way down here eventually. That one's filling up quite nicely, and then once we kind of get this lot filled up, we should be good to go. It's just our belt speed that's kind of letting us down a little bit at the moment. Let's just double check our belt speed down here. So yeah, we've definitely got a Mark II belt, so it's just kind of getting backed up a little bit, but that's pretty good. It's all good. So over here we should have our steel beams coming out. So yep, steel beams are coming out and going into our assemblers, but they'll probably just be passing through for the moment and going into storage. Yep, so that's perfect. Okay, so now all of that is operational, let's head back to base and we will get our vehicular transport done. And then once that milestone's complete, while we're waiting for some of the resources to gather, we can unlock some of the milestones for tier 4 then. Okay, so we should have pretty much everything we need to get this one done. So we're going to go ahead and bonk all them. So vehicle transport, job done. So we're going to select the milestone. We've got this one here, which will give us another hand slot, the Zeno Basher as well, and some inventory slots. So we'll definitely get that one done. And then the one we want to focus on most is quite possibly going to be the easiest one. We might do the advanced steel production first, just so we can get the encased industrial beams up and running, and then we can sort of worry about the conveyor belts, because that will allow the steel beams to kind of generate a little bit more, and then we can basically get these done as well. So the expanded power infrastructure will be nice, but obviously that needs encased beams as well. So I think that's going to be the way forward. So we'll wait for our timer to run out. We'll definitely get this one done. So I'll make sure I've got all the resources, and we've got some of them. We're going to need some more rods, and we've got enough of the reinforced plates. And while we're doing that, we have got a hard drive that we can scan, so we'll definitely get that scanned. And what I have in my library at the moment is this lot here. Kind of not sure if any of this is actually going to be useful at the moment in time. Possibly the iron wire, maybe, but I think we're making enough of it. But if any of you have any of these recommendations of what's actually going to be worth keeping, or whether it's just to keep them out of rotation, let me know down in the comments. I'll be definitely interested to see your thoughts and your takes on it. So we need to find some rods. So let's head on over here. We should have a few rods over here in storage. So we'll take 600 of those. We'll just sort that for, yeah, we should be good to go with that lot. We've got enough reinforced plates. We'll just grab a few more bits of copper wire as well, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so that's good. I don't think we need anything else. We have got some quartz over here that was going to turn into some silica just for the aesthetics. I kind of haven't been making the factories nice at all at the moment. I'll probably do them sort of on a live stream, as I said before, just kind of trying to find the time to go ahead and obviously live stream that sort of stuff. So we've got about a minute left for our pod to return, so I'll wait for the pod to return. We'll go ahead and get that other one done, and let's see what we need for the advanced steel production. So we need 100 beams, 200 rotors, 100 modular frames as well, and also some concrete. So we're good for concrete, we're good for the rotors. We do need some more modular frames, so let's go ahead and just manually craft some of those. We only need 50. We've got plenty of the rods and stuff, so we might as well just get those done while waiting for the pod to return. In fact, we don't need to, because I remembered I did set up a temporary modular frame little constructor over here temporarily, so we should have quite a few of them. Yes, we do. So we'll take those and we'll go ahead and get this other milestone done. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and drop these off. Our reinforced plates, we'll get them done as well. So that's perfect. We'll send that off. And then what we'll do is we'll activate this milestone over here. And then we probably wait for that one to come back. So we're going to go ahead back to our steel plant. We're going to go ahead and get our vehicle transport all done and dusted. So truck station, perfect. We did pick up quite a few of the modular frames, so that's good. We need 3 of those, and we'll just need 1 tractor for now, just for us to ride around in. So let's go ahead. We'll head back to our steel plant, and we'll go ahead and set up our little vehicle transport. And we'll, no, what I also wanted to do is go ahead and research the smart splitter, wasn't I? So we can sort out the overflow issue that we're going to have once we get our loading bays all sorted. So let's go ahead and see what we need for that. I probably won't be able to do anything until our hard drive has arrived. So I've got to try and remember where it is in Caterium. Yes. So we need 200 wire, and 50 of the sheets. I'm pretty sure we do have some of that lying around. Oh, we've got 100. I've got 100 encased beams already. We haven't got enough pipes though. So it looks like we're going to have to go on the hunt for some Caterium, unless I've got any in here. Oh, I have. Perfect. Okay. So I did have that there. So we're just going to wait for our hard drive to come back. And we're going to go ahead and get this one unlocked. And then what we need to do is then go ahead and build 10 of those, the AI limiters, to unlock the smart splitter. So we're going to do that before we go ahead and build the vehicle storage. Okay, so our hard drive is just about done, and let's see what we have for here. So we've got alternate steel rod or molded steel pipe, so we could use our ingots for that, and our concrete here. I'm not sure if that's going to be beneficial to what we already have in the assembler. So that's for the, so yeah, not really sure if that's going to be worth doing or not as of yet. But anyway, what we're going to do is go to Caterium. We're going to get this researched. We're going to get 5 of these AI limiters built, and we can go ahead and research that. So let's see what we need for the AI limiter. So we need Caterium wire, and we need copper sheets. So we need 10 of these. So we are going to need to go ahead and grab some more quick wire. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. I'll probably skip this bit, as you probably don't need to see me run over and grab some Caterium for this. The Caterium isn't too far away anyway, it's only just over here, so it shouldn't be long at all. We should be able to get this done pretty quickly. So we have everything we need now to build our limiters, so we're just going to craft 10 of those. We're going to get those done, and then we can research the smart splitter, and we should have enough resources then to go ahead and get our transport system kind of started. Not fully operational, but at least it will be started over there. So we've got our 10 AI limiters, and we're probably going to need some more of those crafting once we unlock them. So we're going to go ahead and research that. That should be done in a quick few seconds, and there we go. So now we have access to the smart splitters, which yes, they're going to need AI limiters as well. So we're going to go ahead and get that into our hotbar. We're definitely going to need those. We'll put them in place of, I think, yeah, number 9 for now. Won't need any of those, so let's get a few more of these crafted. We'll get another 10 done. At least then we know we've got plenty. We only need 3, but at least we know we've got enough. We'll do 5 actually. So let's head on back to our steel factory, and we'll go ahead and get the transport system set up. That should give us enough time to accumulate some of the steel beams and the steel pipes to enable us to unlock the advanced steel production, so we can get our encased beams up and running, so we can get some of tier 4 complete. Okay, so here we are. So my theory being is we've got our encased beams over here, we've got our steel beams over here as well coming out of the excess, and then we've got our steel pipes coming over this way. So let's go ahead and we will get our truck stations all built and where we kind of want them. So we've got 3 inputs, and we've got 2 of the outputs as well, and we've got the loading over here. So we are going to want to hook up our coal from over there as well, which isn't too much of an issue. We can kind of sort that out. I'm trying to think of the best way to actually do this. So we've got our steel coming in from over here, and then we've got the other 2 coming from over this direction, and we can pop those in the mergers. We can do some belts around. So yeah, well, I think we'll do it like that. So we're going to go ahead and kind of place this in a way. We're going to lock it there for a moment just so I can kind of gauge where I want it. Probably about there actually is probably about where I'm going to utilize it the most. So we'll put that one there. We'll snap this one there. We'll put that one there, but we'll nudge it 2 across, I think. So we'll go ahead and lock that into place. We'll nudge it over 2. I think that'll be good. And then we'll do the same for this one. So we'll lock that in place. We'll nudge it over 2. And there we go. So that's going to be that. So now we can kind of sort this flooring out as in how we want it. So we're going to make this, probably going to build a bridge sort of over this direction. I think will be a good idea. So let's go ahead and we'll snap this onto here. Pretty sure it's going to kind of hit that rock, which is kind of annoying, but we might be able to do it just smack bang in the middle, I think, unless we kind of go around this way. No, I think we will. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and zoom out here, pretty much like that. He can just you know, casually hang around up there if he really wants to. That's completely up to him. So materials, we want asphalt foundations, which is pretty cool because it only takes concrete, so nice and easy. So we're going to bring that into here, and we are going to want all of this around here as well. So we're probably going to come in this direction, probably going to come around this, probably load up there, and then we'll kind of come around again, I think. Yeah, that looks pretty good like that. That looks pretty good. Okay. So from here, we're going to go patterns, and what we're going to do is we are going to do our arrows. So we're going to just label these up very quickly. We've got one here. We're also going to label up number 2 over here, and we'll go customize our number 2, and we're also going to go number 3 over here. That looks pretty good to me. We'll go 1 and 2, and we'll put 3. Yeah, 3 can stay there actually. That seems okay for the moment. So now we just need to sort out all of this logistics. So we're going to go ahead first of all, and we're going to do our coal input. So our coal input is going to go into this top one here. That's going to be the plan. So first of all, we're going to grab our splitter. We're going to line it up quite nicely. Probably about there is looking good. We're probably going to go 2 and get rid of that one. We'll go ahead and do the same for this. We'll do the same for this one. We'll get rid of those. And we're only going to need a Mark 1 belt for this. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Is that good? And then what we can do is kind of bring this out to here, and we can just do a lift straight up. I think that's probably going to be the best way to do it. So we probably could do with a nice little bridge around here. So we'll go ahead and we will jump down here. Oh, I've got a nice big gap to fill over here. So we'll get our 4-meter foundation, and we'll pop this under here like this, fill that up quite nicely. And then we've got our bridge is going to be kind of around here somewhere. So yeah, that's pretty perfect actually. And we'll go all the way out to 10. That is good. So let's hop on here, and we'll do another one over here like this. And we can kind of just go straight down this middle edge. So let's go ahead and get our Mark 1 miner over here. And that looks pretty good. Do that. We will then go ahead and link that up to power. Perfect. And we can bring this just straight out here. Go for a nice straight belt if we can. And we will bring this out to about there. And then we'll go ahead and zoom this all the way around. We'll get our lift just here. So we've got to work out how high we're going to want this. Going about there. I could be completely wrong with that, but let's just double check we can actually connect these together. A little bit higher. Okay, so we need this one to go a little bit higher than what originally planned, which isn't too much of an issue. We can do that. So let's bring this around to here, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Quite possibly that might be too much now. Yeah. Okay, so for our lift, we want to go 1, 2. So 2 should be good. We should be able to get that nicely in there. Yep, that's fairly kind of straight. Not sure what happened to quite there. So that's that. Then we can go ahead these together, and that should be taking our coal in here. So we can configure these. So we've got no power, but that's fine. But fuel wise, load, unload. So we need to hook those up to power as well. But for now, we will just leave it as that. I do want to get the stackable upgrade, which in fact, we actually have that. So that'll be nice. It just makes it look a little bit better. So I think we'll just put one, we'll put one here in as well. And we'll also put one just here. So we're going to move this one over because that wasn't quite in the right place. There we go. Perfect. Okay. That looks a little bit better. So now we've got that going in, we need our steel pipes. So yeah, we're gonna have to leave that storage container there for a little bit, I think. So what we can do is get rid of that. We'll get rid of that for now, and then what we want to do is we want this one over here to be our steel pipes. We're probably going to have encased beams going into this one, and then our steel beams going into this one. So this is a bit further out, but what we can do is we're going to have to go out this direction. But what I might do is get rid of that, and we will change the orientation so it comes out this direction here. That should bring it out nice and straight to about there. So at the moment we've got 20 coming out. So yeah, we only need a Mark 1 belt for this. So we can go ahead and bring that straight out. Now we can bring it to that one, or we can go to that one think what we'll do is we'll go to that one there. I think for the time being, that's pretty cool. And then what we'll do as a temporary measure, and we'll go ahead and get a merger from here. And we are going to need a few of these steel pipes, so we'll take a couple of stacks of those. And then what we'll do just for the time being is we will go ahead and do that and just merge those together. That will allow that to fill up quite nicely. So now what we want to do is we want to put a smart splitter in here as well, so we can have this going into storage. Okay, so I realized I made a little bit of a hiccup and I actually forgot how these actually work. So our fuel input is down here. We can't utilize these ones. So I've kind of just fixed that problem. So now we kind of have to rethink of what we're going to be doing about these, which isn't too much of an issue. Should be nice and simple to do. So we're going to go ahead and move this merge, and we have got a whole load of these that we need to get rid of first. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead again. I'm going to get this belt over here. As you can see, we kind of can't link it into this one because we've got this in the way, which is a little bit awkward. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure this is kind of straight. We're going to pop it there for a moment. We're going to go ahead and get our lift. So we're going to bring this to there, and we're just going to go up one. That's a little bit awkward. It's going to look a little bit ugly because of the way it's kind of going, but I guess we'll have to kind of just go for that sort of build for now. But yeah, we'll sort that out. So we're going to go ahead and put our little merger in here again, just so we can get rid of whatever's in this container so we can move it. So once that container is kind of empty, what we can do is sort out a smart splitter. So let's give this thing some power just to make sure it's all working as it should be, which hopefully it is. So where can we steal some power from? But let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll steal it from here. We'll kind of bring this power line all the way along here, I think, and we'll dump it sort of in the middle. And then we'll go ahead and do another one over here in the middle of the two. And we can go ahead and hook these up to power now. They should be taking in the fuel and everything else, so that should be working as it should now. So yeah, we're stacking this up nicely. There's plenty of storage space in here, so I think it's going to take a while for it to overflow. So what I think we'll do is we'll get rid of this conveyor belt first of all. We'll just let all of this lot filter in, and we'll kind of get rid of all of this for the time being. We can sort out our other issues that we're going to have over here. So let's go ahead and sort out our encased beams to start with. So we're going to have a merger just over here. So we're going to want this output in that direction. We're same for this one here. Going to go ahead and link all these up. We'll put this as a straight belt and then bring that across. And then this one here, we can probably just go straight into this one without going up, which is quite nice. We can bring that round to here. I don't think it's quite going to work the way I want it to. We'll go there and then there. Perfect. Okay, so that's our encased beams done. Now we just need our actual steel beams. So that's not too bad. We can kind of lay that all the way across here and probably just go straight in. And to be honest with you, I'm half tempted with this one here to get rid of this lift because it kind of looks a bit ugly. What we could do is just do a gradual incline, or we could just do lift straight off here and then put some stackables that might look a bit neater. And then we just need to kind of figure out where we want our storage for everything, as in our overflow storage, but we can figure that one out afterwards. So our steel beams are going to come from here. We'll probably leave this storage container here for the moment. We can always get rid of it once it's filtered through. That's not too much of an issue. We could possibly we'll get rid of this for now to stop that filling up. And then what we will do is we will go ahead and bring a lift kind of up this direction. So we want it parallel with this one, and we just want it going up one, like. Then we're just going to go straight into here, and what we're going to do is we're going to get our stackables again, make sure they're kind of this direction. We're gonna have to go 2 up, I think. Yeah, we'll go 2 up that way, we'll go 2 up that way, we'll do another there. We'll go ahead and bring another 2 up this way, and then we'll get these in the middle, 2 up that way, and we'll do another 2 sort of here, and no, we'll get rid of that one. That should bring it down a level to there, and we should be good to go actually there. That should work out quite nicely. So we're going to go ahead and bring these over. Should be looking good. So we'll go to there, go straight into there. So that should be our steel beams going in there. Our encased beams are going to go through here. So yeah, we should be good at that, I think. As I said, we need to just sort out our smart splitters and figure out where we're going to put it all. So to be honest, what we could do is if we got rid of this, we could mark out a nice little hatched area over here, I think. And this is probably going to be our little storage section. So let's go ahead and mark out a little section like this, because we can utilize this storage chest here, probably move it over a little bit. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do another stretch just here. And this can be our storage then. So we can have a smart splitter sort of coming off and possibly here somewhere. We might have to move this back a little bit. Then we can have another smart splitter kind of up here, kind of come down into our storages. I think that might be a good idea. So let's go ahead and get our storage container. In fact, we can go ahead and we can have one storage container down sort of here for encased beams. We can have another one up here, which will kind of lie nicely parallel with that for our steel pipes, and then we can for our steel beams, and then we can have another one down here for our steel pipes. In fact, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down a little bit. There is a reason for this, because we're going to just hold this, and what we're going to do is we're going to nudge it 4 times. We'll go 4 times, and then we can nudge this one over as well. That way they're kind of nicely spaced out. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good way to do it. So let's go ahead and we will get our smart splitter. We'll probably have to do it around here, I think. So we're going to get our smart splitter just there, or yeah, because we're not quite able to do it. Let's just get rid of this for now. We can go ahead and put our splitter on here now. So pop our splitter just there, and we'll go ahead and we'll face this way so we know what orientation. So left output will just be overflow, and that's all we need to do from there. We can go ahead and we can bring this as a straight belt, and we can kind of go straight into here. So we're going to bring this back this way, and then we'll go straight into there. So now we can go ahead and do another splitter up here. Kind of going to be in an awkward position just doing this. Going to look a bit odd. Yeah, it's not going to allow us to do it because we're kind of a bit wonky, but I have an idea. So what we can do is we can go ahead and do this. So if we do that, we can also, yeah, so we'll go for that. We'll get our splitter and we'll pop it there, and we'll do exactly the same on this left overflow. It's kind of a little bit complicated doing it like this, but it is going to work. So we're going to have to go down like this. Yeah, that works. That can work. And then we just need another one of these about there. So we can bring this over to this side. We can then bring this over to here as a straight belt. Get that one. Perfect. So that's going to be the steel beam overflow. Once this is all filled up, now we just need to wait for our pipes to kind of hurry up a little bit, and we'll see if we can take these out of here and pop them in place. So we can do that. That might be a little bit easier to hurry up and get rid of these. Okay, that should be enough for that. So we can go ahead now and get rid of this. We will get rid of that because I don't like the look of how that is. We'll go like that. We'll get rid of this one. So we've got our splitter going over to here. And what we're going to do is bring it up to that way there. We're going to put a smart splitter kind of just here. So let's copy this. We're going to make sure it's that orientation. We're going to lock that in place, and we're going to go 4 across, was it? I think it was 4 across. So 4 across there. Yeah, that looks about right. That looks pretty good. So what we're going to do now is go logistics. We're going to get a stackable pole. We're going to pop it just here is how we're going to do it. And then we're going to get a smart splitter just there. So in fact, we'll move this a little bit closer. That will do perfectly fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this out on a straight belt. And we're going to come out to here because that's where our smart splitter is going to be. So we didn't have that quite lined up the way we wanted it to, so we're gonna have that lined up. Okay, so we're gonna have this lined up to about here. We should be able to bring that up to here now, go back to a straight, and we'll just go up to there. So now we should be able to put a smart splitter in here. It should work perfectly. Just make sure that's actually gone into the right position. Perfect. Then we should be able to go straight into here. So there we go. that should be the steel pipes smart split into here. So we need to configure right output. We're going to go overflow, and there we go. So that's all sorted now. Our truck stations are filling up quite nicely. Now what we need to do is build a nice tractor. So we're going to go ahead and build that. So what we're going to do is take some fuel out of here. We're going to open up the crafting bench. We're going to put a bit of fuel in it, and we should be good to go to drive our tractor around now. So we have some steel pipes. We're going to go ahead and get some steel beams. And then what we're going to do is we're going to head back to the hub, and we're going to go ahead and get these milestones all complete. So we'll grab a few of those and we'll take our tractor for a drive. So don't get me wrong, the tractors are the best mode of transport in the game, but they definitely get you from A to B pretty nicely. They're not exactly the most fuel efficient things, but they definitely work. Okay, so let's figure out what milestones we want to complete now. So we're going to go ahead and get this advanced steel production. We can upgrade it to the Mark II miners, and then we'll go ahead and get the sticks 3 done, and we can get the conveyor belts all done as well. So we then should be at maximum capacity for our steel factory, and then we'll go ahead and knock these milestones out as well, and then we should be all set for the next episode. So we're going to go ahead and get this done. So 100 of those, and we need 100 of the modular frames, and we need 200 rotors. So we just need to grab some rotors, which we've got plenty of those in production, so that's not too much of an issue. Okay, there we go, all done and dusted. So while we're waiting for our pod to come back, we're going to head over. Okay, so now that we have the Mark II and we have the encased beams that we can now produce, we're going to head back to the steel factory and sort those out. So here we are back at the steel factory. So we're going to go ahead and get our Mark II miners all done and dusted. We can go ahead and copy that, and we can place that one down there. So let's just double check. So now it's given us back our power shards, but what we want to do is increase this all the way to 270. So 240, go like this, and we'll put in here 270. So there we go, we're at 225% clock speed at 270. Now we're just going to go ahead and do the other one, and then we'll go ahead and do all of those. Okay, so that's all our Mark II miners all done. They're all upgraded. Now we just need to do the belts when we've unlocked that milestone. So they're all in maximum production now. So we need to head back to the hub. We need to go ahead and unlock the next milestone. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and configure these to be encased industrial beams. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and do this one, and then lastly we're going to go ahead and do this one. So there we go, that should all be industrial beams. These for some reason are taking concrete, and I think I know the reason why. So basically I had this issue with the others. The way I kind of laid out the splitters is so they weren't kind of clipping in between these, but you basically have to just get a rubber belt, look at the belt and just double clip, and that will put a belt in between them. You can't see it, so it's kind of hard to guess what you're doing, but that's basically all of that sorted. So that's good to go. We have this issue here where now that's completely empty. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to put a straight belt over to here, link those together. So now our excess should be coming through here. So let me just double check I've got my calculations right. So we've got 18 per minute. So yeah, that's fine. They should fill up pretty quickly once we've got our belt speed all up and running. So we'll head back to the hub. We'll get the next milestone done. We'll tick a few things off our to-do list. So now we've also got the Mark II miners and the belts. We can increase our power stability as well. So we built the power plant to cope with 270. So now we have that, we should be pretty good to go to upgrade all of that as well. We probably won't do that in this episode. All it'll be doing is just upgrading the miners to Mark II and then sorting out the belt speed. So to accommodate for the 270. So there's no need for me to do that in this episode. Kind of self-explanatory for that one. So we're going to go ahead and get this done. So we'll go ahead and we need 400 reinforced plates. So we're going to have to go and grab some of those. That was a very bad jump. That was pretty spot on. So we'll grab a load of those because we're going to need plenty of those anyway. And then once we've got the belts all done, we can come back, get all of these other milestones complete, and we should be good to go. So there we go. So next milestone, we just need to get rid of all of these. So we won't do the expanded power or the high protrude. We'll let the encased beams go ahead and accumulate. We can get rid of this one, so we'll select that milestone, and it should be back in about 5 minutes. So that should be all good. So that should give us time to head over back to our steel factory and make sure all of our Mark III belts are in place. Okay, so here we are back. So Mark 3 belts, going to upgrade that one, going to upgrade that, going to upgrade these. We're going to go ahead and upgrade these lifts as well. So they're all done. I've got a little bit of a gap to fill there, but that for now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and copy this. We're going to upgrade these 2 belts, upgrade those. Before we go any further, just going to upgrade these over here. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade that to 3 lift, that one there to Mark 3 lift. And then what we're going to do is going to head back around here. Make sure all of these are Mark 3 belts. So those, we can reach that from there, which is good. So they're all Mark 3. So that's pretty good. We'll do the coal after. So we've got 270 coming in. So we've got 270 coming in. We've got a foundry of 45 per minute. So that's 230. So we're going to need a Mark 3 belt, this one. So 230, we've got about 190 going down this one. So that's a 3 belt. And then we've got 150 coming into this belt. And then these ones here can just be Mark 2 belts, which I believe they already are. So that should work out pretty nicely there. So we're going to go ahead and grab this as well. So we've got 270 coming over into, I believe it's 45 as well. So the first 3, so 1, 2, 3. Yep. So the first 3, the rest can be Mark 2 belts. So that's good. And then we're going to do the same over here. So we'll just go ahead and quickly upgrade all of these. Mark 3 lifts, Mark 3 belts over here. So that one's already up 3 belt. Now we're going to go ahead and grab that Mark 3 lift from there. So that's a Mark 3 belt. That one's already a Mark 3 belt. There we go. That should all be that sorted. So now we just need to do this one as well. So it's 3. We're going to go into here. This is already Mark 3 belt. Now we also need to do the outputs as well because we've got 45. So we've got 45 going into here. So that can be a Mark 1 or probably a Mark 2. So 90 going into here. So we're going to have to go ahead and upgrade all of these to Mark 3. That's perfect. And this one here is going to be Mark 3 as well. We could in theory just do them all for argument's sake, but it's quite resource heavy. So I don't really want to be doing that. I'm going to go ahead and get Mark 3 lift over here. There we go. So we need some more of the steel. Yeah, we need some more steel beams. So we're going to go ahead and grab some of those. We'll take them out of here for now. And then we'll go ahead and just sort out the rest of the Mark 3 belts. Okay, so that's all the belts all upgraded. We have a nice steady flow of steel production. I'm pretty happy with how my factory is looking. At least all the belts foundations. We've obviously got all the aesthetics that we want to do. If you have any ideas on the aesthetics, whether to do one great big building or loads of individual ones, I'm kind of feeling go for one big building with a load of walkways and everything in between. That seems like a pretty cool idea to me. I think it's going to be a nice looking massive factory, to be honest. It's going to take a while to do the aesthetics. But anyway, what we're going to do is head back to the hub now. And we're going to get these other milestones done. Okay, so here we are back. Let's go ahead and get this milestone done. It should be pretty easy to clear out. We've got plenty of stuff that we need. Probably just need some more cables. Okay, so we've got our cables, so we can just whack them in there as well. And we'll just have to wait for our pod to return in 5 minutes at these other 2. So let's go ahead and see what we need for this one. We should be able to do that. That shouldn't be too bad at all. So let's run and grab these resources. And what I might do as we're waiting for the other pod to come back, I might head over to my power plant and go ahead and make sure that's all fully efficient. But actually, while we're here, we can tick off a few things off our list. Something I keep forgetting about, but we've done our steel factory, we've done our tier 3, and we've done the Mark 3 belts. We're going to go ahead and do the power stability, so we can tick that off, and we just got our tier 4 to kind of figure out and do. So we've got 20 at the moment. We'll sort these. We can probably get rid of these for now just to make some more inventory space. And then what we can do is go ahead and put 200 of those. So we need got the steel beams, we've got the encased beams, we just need some copper wire now. So we'll go ahead and grab some copper wire from over here. So we need 2,000 of this. 3, and we've got some more up there, so that's fine. Okay, so we've got enough for that. So as I said, I'm going to go and head over and get our power plant all up and running at full efficiency. Okay, for our last milestone, we just need to get rid of all of these. So we'll get rid of those. Oh yeah, there we go. We are ready to launch and complete the final milestone. Okay, I thought that was the final one, but it's not. We've got the hypertubes, so we should be able to get that one done as well in the next 5 minutes. So we just hang around here for 5 minutes, wait for the pod to return, and we can get rid of this milestone as well. So just need some more copper sheets, which is easy. I've got plenty of those in production, and we should be good to go. Okay, so our pod is returning. It should have landed in the next 10 minutes. We can get this final milestone done, and then we can talk about what we're going to be doing in the next episode, because we need to complete phase 2, which is going to take some versatile framework and some automated wiring. And for that, we're going to need some of the production from here and some of the production from over at our steel factory. So we've got a little bit of logistics to sort out. But first of all, before we get into that, we'll go ahead and get rid of all of this and send that all away. So job done. Okay, so before we end the episode, let's talk about what we're doing in the next episode. So in the next episode, what we're going to be doing is demolishing all of this. Our nice little starter factory. We're going to be demolishing it all, laying down some foundations so they snap to the world grid. We'll be redoing all of this production. Now that we have gathered enough of the smart plating for our space elevator, we don't need those anymore for the time being. So that's the plan. We're going to demolish all of this, build foundations. We're going to make this new factory. And then over here, at this nice open bit of land here, we're going to lay some foundations down, and this is kind of going to be our central sort of hub, our central storage unit. That's going to be my overall plan. So yeah, we've got a lot of work on us in the next episode. So to finish off, we're going to head over here and we're going to tick off our final thing on our list. Now hopefully you have enjoyed that episode and there was a lot of helpful information. Obviously, as I said before, all of the plans for the steel factory I will have for free in my Discord. I'll leave the link down in the description. Also, don't forget to hit the like on this video and also drop a comment down below and let me know if you found this one helpful. Sorry it's been a little bit of a longer one, but you guys seem to be enjoying the longer videos at the moment. So hopefully it's been of value to you. So it's been Kryptonite here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.